Born on January 29, 1945 in Detroit, Michigan, Tom Selleck entered the world far from Hollywood glamour. Raised in a working-class family that later relocated to Sherman Oaks, California, he grew up during the optimistic post-World War II years, surrounded by a culture that valued hard work, discipline, and modest ambition. As a teenager in Southern California, Selleck's interests leaned heavily toward athletics, especially basketball, and he believed sports, not acting, would shape his future. That belief carried him to the University of Southern California on a basketball scholarship, where he studied business administration while playing for the USC Trojans. Acting was never part of the plan until a perceptive drama coach noticed something in him that went beyond physical presence. Encouraged to explore performance, Selleck reluctantly enrolled in acting classes. What began as curiosity soon became fascination. Early commercial work, including now iconic Pepsi ads in the 1960s, revealed a natural ease in front of the camera. Without realizing it, Selleck had stepped onto a path that would redefine his life. Struggles, small roles, and a slow climb. Like most actors of his generation, Tom Selleck's early career was defined less by success than by patience. Throughout the late 1960s and 1970s, he worked steadily but quietly, appearing in guest roles across television while struggling to gain lasting traction. Shows like The Dating Game and The Rockford Files offered visibility but not security, and for years, Selleck hovered on the edge of recognition without breaking through. Those years tested his resolve, forcing him to balance ambition with realism as rejection became a familiar companion. Yet they also shaped him, sharpening his craft and teaching him humility. Casting directors saw promise but hesitated to commit, and several major film opportunities slipped away. Most famously, Selleck was strongly considered for Raiders of the Lost Ark, but contractual obligations to television prevented him from accepting the role that would eventually define another actor's career. Rather than dwell on disappointment, Selleck pressed forward. Those setbacks reinforced his belief that success, if it came, would have to be earned slowly and honestly. Magnum P.I. in the birth of an icon, everything changed in 1980 when Tom Selleck was cast as Thomas Magnum in Magnum P.I. The role transformed him from a familiar face into a cultural phenomenon almost overnight. With his Hawaiian shirts, Ferrari, and unmistakable mustache, Magnum embodied a new kind of television hero, confident yet vulnerable, witty but sincere. Audiences responded not just to the action or mystery, but to the warmth Selleck brought to the character. Over 8 seasons, Magnum P.I. became one of the most successful television series of the decade, earning Selleck both an Emmy and a Golden Globe. More importantly, it gave him creative control and a sense of purpose. He wasn't playing a caricature, he was portraying a fully realized human being. That authenticity resonated deeply, cementing Magnum as one of television's most enduring characters. Even decades later, the role remains inseparable from Selleck's identity, representing the moment when persistence finally met opportunity. Expanding into film and creative range. Refusing to be defined by a single role, Tom Selleck used his television success as a springboard into film. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, he demonstrated remarkable versatility, choosing projects that challenged public expectations. 3 Men and a Baby in 1987 revealed his comedic timing and charm, becoming a massive box office success and broadening his appeal beyond action and drama. At the same time, Selleck gravitated toward westerns, a genre he deeply admired for its moral clarity and physical demands. Films like Quigley Down allowed him to embody a classic American archetype while bringing modern emotional nuance to it. These roles reflected his personal tastes rather than commercial calculation. Selleck consistently favored characters rooted in integrity, restraint, and quiet strength. While he never pursued celebrity for its own sake, his film career reinforced his reputation as a dependable, grounded performer. An actor audiences trusted because he never seemed to be performing for attention. Reinvention and the stability of Blue Bloods. As many actors struggle with longevity, Tom Selleck found renewed purpose later in life through television once again. In 2010, he assumed the role of Frank Reagan on CBS's Blue Bloods, portraying the patriarch of a multi-generational family of New York law enforcement officers. The role suited him perfectly. As Reagan, Selleck brought authority without arrogance and strength softened by empathy. The series became a long-running success, introducing him to a new generation of viewers while reaffirming his relevance in an evolving industry. Critics praised his performance for its emotional restraint and moral seriousness, qualities increasingly rare in modern television. For Selleck, Blue Bloods was more than a job. It was a reflection of the values he had lived by: family, responsibility, and quiet leadership. The show stands as one of his defining achievements, proving that reinvention doesn't require reinvention of character, only honesty. Family, fatherhood, and personal choices away from the camera, Tom Selleck's life has been marked by deliberate choices centered on responsibility and family. From 1971 to 1982, he was married to model Jacqueline Ray, during which time he legally adopted her son, Kevin Shepard. That decision spoke volumes about his character. At a moment when his career demanded constant attention, Selleck chose fatherhood with full commitment, providing stability and support during Kevin's formative years. Kevin later forged his own path, becoming a professional drummer and achieving success with the rock band Tonic. After his divorce, Selleck's life took an unexpected turn overseas. In 1987, while attending a performance of Cats in London, he met British actress and dancer Gilly Mack. Their connection was immediate yet grounded, leading to a private marriage later that year. Together, they welcomed their daughter Hannah in 1988, and Selleck intentionally stepped back from Hollywood's relentless pace to prioritize family life. Life on the ranch and grounded living. Rather than immersing himself in celebrity culture, Tom Selleck chose a quieter, more physical lifestyle. He and his family settled on a 60-acre avocado ranch in Hidden Valley near Thousand Oaks, California, a property once owned by Dean Martin. For Selleck, the ranch represented more than privacy. It offered purpose. He took pride in maintaining the land himself, finding fulfillment in physical labor that balanced the mental demands of acting. In interviews, he has spoken openly about preferring ranch work over gym routines, valuing usefulness over vanity. The land kept him grounded, offering a sense of continuity and humility rarely associated with fame. Life on the ranch allowed Selleck to disconnect from Hollywood's noise and reconnect with simplicity. It became a place where work had visible results and effort felt honest. That lifestyle choice mirrored the values that had guided his career: steadfastness, authenticity, and respect for labor. James Garner, admiration before friendship. Long before James Garner became a personal presence in Tom Selleck's life, he was a professional ideal. Growing up watching Maverick, Selleck admired Garner's rare blend of humor, toughness, and sincerity. Garner didn't project grandeur, he projected truth. To Selleck, that authenticity stood apart in an industry often driven by ego. When the two eventually worked together in the 1980s, including the Rockford Files, Friends, and Foul Play, Selleck approached the collaboration with reverence and quiet nerves. Those fears dissolved quickly. Garner greeted him not as a legend asserting status, but as a peer extending warmth. He treated everyone on set with equal respect, regardless of rank. That behavior left a lasting impression on Selleck, who recognized that professionalism wasn't about power, but about decency. Garner's presence reinforced the idea that character mattered more than fame, both on screen and off. Lessons in integrity and perspective. James Garner's influence on Tom Selleck extended far beyond acting technique. During long conversations between takes, Garner shared hard-earned wisdom about surviving Hollywood without losing oneself. He warned against entitlement, cautioning that success could erode integrity if not handled carefully. Garner emphasized humility, reminding Selleck that fame was temporary, but reputation endured. Those conversations became a compass for Selleck, especially during moments when pressure mounted and expectations grew overwhelming. Garner's guidance helped him navigate success without surrendering perspective. He demonstrated that it was possible to be both respected and kind, ambitious yet grounded. Watching Garner balance career demands with devotion to family also shaped Selleck's priorities. Garner's long marriage and personal discipline offered proof that stability was achievable, even in an unstable industry. These lessons weren't dramatic declarations. They were quiet truths shared between two men who understood the weight of carrying a hit television series. Reflection at 80 and a debt of gratitude. Now, at 80, Tom Selleck speaks about James Garner with a clarity that only time provides. What he finally admits is not scandal or revelation, but gratitude. Garner didn't just influence his career, he shaped his understanding of what it meant to be a good man. Selleck sees his own legacy as intertwined with Garner's example, proof that success need not come at the cost of kindness or humility. Reflecting on decades in the industry, Selleck acknowledges that many of his most important decisions, especially those involving family and balance, were inspired by Garner's quiet leadership. He doesn't claim to have matched that standard, only to have chased it honestly. In sharing this truth, Selleck hopes others understand that mentorship isn't always formal. Sometimes it's simply watching how someone lives. As he looks back, Selleck says plainly that James Garner set the bar, and that he remains grateful for the example he continues striving to honor.